We've all been at one job at some point in our career where we've kind of looked around and we're like, well, where do I go next? Maybe it's that situation where the only other position for you to move in is your boss's role and they've been there, 20 years and they're not going to leave anytime soon. So you kind of look around and go, well, like the only way for me to grow is out. But that's not true. I think there's definitely ways that you can help develop your team members within your organization, even if there isn't necessarily a role for them to move into now. But it's a matter of finding those high performers, finding out what motivates them, what can you do to keep them engaged, to keep them growing, to help them see that there is a future there. And I think if you work closely with those team members, you can continue to retain them, but you might need to get a little creative on how you go about it.
Yeah, I love that you said get creative because advancement doesn't look the same for everyone. Some
Hmm.
people are quite happy in their role and want to be individual contributors, but maybe they've mastered what they're doing and they want to dabble in something else in the organization.
Hmm.
So figuring out
Hmm.
for that person if it's cross-functional training that excites them. For other
Hmm.
people, it is absolutely going from you know junior level pro to mid level pro to senior level pro. And so it's a career ladder sort of thing. But you won't
Hmm.
know unless you have the conversations that we're suggesting with the
Hmm.
satisfaction surveys and those conversations, the one-on-ones with the manager. And speaking of manager, there's another reason why people leave. What's that next one?
Well, I can definitely see why this is a big one. And it's somebody feeling like their boss lacks empathy. And if you've ever worked for a boss that you felt that way about, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It
Oh
seems
yeah.
like you're really just there to do a job. Doesn't matter what's going on in your life. You need to do your job. You need to show up. You need to be quiet. And it really just, it feels, the only way I can describe it is just feels gross. Like it's
Mm-hmm.
sad. And I talk to many employees who I think they know that they're in that situation and it's not a great one, but for many reasons in regards to financial security, there's the fear of making that leap of like making a change. But if you've ever worked for amazing bosses, and I'm very fortunate to have worked with many over the years, working with you, Joey, you have the greatest degree of empathy, and I would say it makes a whole world of difference. So I encourage leaders to think about how empathetic they are with their team and really think through how that how those interactions and how that behavior has the ability to greatly impact their work satisfaction. And what's that saying, Joey, about people don't leave jobs, they leave bad bosses?
Yeah, yeah, that's totally right. That's totally right. People don't leave jobs, they leave bad bosses because truly that is the most important relationship that an employee has in an organization is with his or her supervisor. And, it's incredibly important. We still have the COVID pandemic in our rear view mirror, right? Like it's still present. So if you are, if you have people on your team who were with you through that, one of the things that you have to think about is a lot of people change jobs with the great resignation because of lack of boss empathy around issues like childcare, family illness, flexible working hours, so on and so forth. And you still need a pulse check because folks may still be what I call sheltering in place because maybe they don't, to Summer's point, they don't think they're working for the best boss, but maybe it's less risky to stay at their job now than to go out into the world and try to find another job. Um, but just because somebody's working for you doesn't mean they're working as well as they could. And so go back and visit and see, hey, is there anywhere we dropped the ball along the way that maybe you're still holding that chip on your shoulder, or that grudge or that gripe or that disappointment. And if so, let's talk about it and see how we can kind of put that behind us and work together and move it forward.